Some reflections on Click, the magic of instant connections. The New York Times best-selling authors of Sway have written another book that is both interesting and accessible. Brothers Ori and Ram Brafman have published Click, the Magic of Instant Connections. Combining their perspectives of organizational business consultant and psychologist, the book takes a look at forces and influences that cause us to instantly click with certain individuals and not with others. Referred to as peak experiences, or being in the zone, there are times when one is fully engaged, connected, more creative and productive. There is an almost magical quality to one's mood and interactions with others, and all of one's senses are heightened utilizing cutting-edge psychological and sociological research, engaging stories, and anecdotal evidence. The book examines a kind of recipe of factors which significantly increases the occurrence of these heightened connections. The authors have identified certain factors which they refer to as click accelerators, which include vulnerability, proximity, resonance, similarity, and safe place. They show how these factors can lead to clicking, which is akin to a magical state, with the experience of quickset intimacy. The Brafman brothers offer real-life examples of how these factors can influence everyday interactions. Shortly after reading the book, I went to Jamaica for a business conference. A curious encounter perfectly illustrated the power of similarity in creating a connection. Their research showed that similarity, in a variety of forms, leads to greater likability. This can be as simple as meeting someone who shares the same birthday, ate at the same restaurant where you just dined, vacationed in the same country, etc. By the time we got into Montego Bay and arrived at the hotel, it was rather late. The gracious gentleman who gathered our bags to take to our room politely introduced himself as Lynch. I said my name is Linda. He absolutely lit up and said, "Oh, both our names begin with L, isn't that something?" He was quite animated about this similarity, and when we saw him in a hallway several days later, he exclaimed, "I remember you, we have names that both begin with L." Remember me, Linda? I thought this was remarkable, and having just read Click, found it all the more interesting. This similarity clearly meant something significant to Lynch. As the book explains, the point is that similarity, no matter what form it takes, leads to greater likability. When we discover a shared similarity with someone we've just met, and it doesn't matter in which areas the similarity occurs, we're more likely to perceive the person as part of what psychologists call an in-group. An in-group is a collection of people who share common traits that differentiate them from others. This is a perfectly plausible explanation for what would otherwise have been an inexplicably effusive response to a commonplace introduction. I found it fascinating and fun. The 5 aforementioned accelerators increase the likelihood of a magical connection in both work settings as well as personal relationships. An understanding of how this relational process works can be beneficial for a variety of reasons. One key reason is that being able to click can enhance your ability to better serve clients and customers. It has been well established that people like to do business with those whom they like, trust, and feel comfortable. Making a meaningful and authentic connection, establishing credibility, and engendering trust on the internet has unique challenges, and an understanding of these accelerators becomes even more helpful and important. Being able to find ways of better relating becomes mutually beneficial and makes each interaction more enjoyable, and this can be done online as well as in person. The book has many illustrations which make the case for how these various factors influence interactions and relationships, and I found it a worthwhile and easy read. There are enough examples that if you want to not only be able to identify these dynamics, but actually incorporate them in order to enhance your personal ways of relating, the information is there.